a piece of paperwork, but then you go to a gun show and you trade guns, or
Mr. Chairman, I don't think we're talking about sales tax or anything else. This is just the cars themselves. How any individual out there conducts the business beyond that, we're not going to get into that here. But I mean, if they sell one for cash, that's their business. We're not going to talk about that here.
all right.
This is a letter that I just received on the 18th of November. Oops, sorry, missed you. From Tom Doyle's Treasury's office. And seems the county attorney is now dabbling in sales tax issues with the county. Anyway, that letter came to us and it says that we owe like $7,000 in taxes on sales, but it didn't come with any documentation of the calculations of this or where it came from or who wanted it. I didn't see a reason why Mr. Knight should be delving into our tax records, and I find that very suspicious. I spoke with Mr. Doyle about it last Tuesday, and he said he was waiting on these so-called records. But my point to this is, Tom put his name on that, saying that we owed this money without any proof of it. He looks kind of bad. I mean, would you, send out a bill from any one of your businesses saying you owe X amount of dollars with nothing to back it up, saying this is what we did for you, or this is what you're charged for, or any of that? And some of those vehicles on there are ICC exempt. We use them in our business. And I understand that state law does not require me to register my vehicles in Natrona County. I can register them anywhere. If you want to go buy, say, Amazon Jude plates, I could get those in Hot Springs County because it's taken here in Natrona County. Okay, I don't feel the need for him to be delving into our private records anymore. I mean, I thought we put all this to bed and we were moving on. I feel like this is one more attempt to harass me or my husband. And I guess that's, since time's up, I'll lay off. Thank you.
No, hang on, Mr. Chairman, I got a question. So, Mr. Key, I see Tom Doyle's name on this letter, but I mean, how is the county attorney linked in this at all?
Because he came up with the records, and then he was supposed to give them to Mr. Doyle, and Tom doesn't know anything about it. He's doing his own research on this, and he said, like this one, this one, this one. They're driving down the highway right now. They're registered out of Hot Springs County. It's our choice to do that. I mean,
Commissioner Dow.
Just kind of gathering my wits and deciding to be a little bit more pleasant. I would tell Judy that the mistakes that you, in many cases, ascribe to our county attorney are the result of the county commissioners working ahead without his considered opinion, providing him correction what we wanted to see. So I think you're off base. I'm willing to say that I support Bill Knight as county attorney unequivocally, and that he is responsive, as is his job, to the commissioners and to represent the other county officials. Relative to this letter goes back to a conversation detailing the full discovery process that you disclosed, that we could not find transfer of titles or registration or the payment of sales taxes for all the vehicles that were disclosed in your lawsuit, extending back to 10 years or more of bill of sales. Long discussion with Tom, me, myself. Tom had discussions with the Department of Revenue about all the apparent lack of retitling and payment of sales taxes. And we came to the determination that, along with the Department of Revenue, that we could not go back any further than 3 years. 3 years were gone back. These were the issues that were unresolved. We had no way of knowing, Tom had no way of knowing, or Bill Knight or myself, that these apparently had been retitled in Hot Springs County and sales tax paid at that time. It is Tom Doyle's responsibility to collect sales tax. And when he can't collect sales taxes, it's his responsibility to turn it over to the Department of Revenue. So the issues, I think, are fairly straightforward on this. I think Tom Doyle has done his job. Bill Knight has done his job. And if you have delivered the information that Tom requires, then he will make an adjustment of whatever sales tax may or may not be done. It may or may not be done. So that's a simple answer to what you perceive as harassment.
So they're seeing a very small amount, and as Commissioner McDowell already stated, he is acting at the behest of the county commissioners. And he does have my full support. I think he's a very good county attorney. And that's all I have. Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, I got one other thing.
Rob?
You know, I bought a piece of equipment out of state, and I was interested in buying the equipment, getting back here. I didn't think about paying sales tax. The county found me. They came after me. They were picking on me, and I got caught. So guess what? I came in here and paid the tax. Didn't think about it.
As soon as I see documentation of it, I'll be sure to take care of
They
mine.
saw documentation of mine, and I don't even know how they found out, but it doesn't matter. I'm caught. So I came in here and I thought, yeah, I didn't. So, yeah, because I took care of it.
I don't understand what Mr. Knight's doing in my tax stuff. That's Tom's job.
And I believe you provided that information to him.
For our trial.
Yes.
That was for our trial.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
and that was all put to bed, I thought. We all thought that. And I apologized to the board apologized to me, and everybody made up. So why now is he digging into my tax records? Okay, and coming up with numbers without any substantiating documents to show this. I mean, he put Tom in a very precarious situation.
Would you like to return to the lectern so everybody can hear you? The county attorney is an employee of the county.
Right, but
And
he
so
wasn't
he
asked
has-
by Tom to do this.
But he has a responsibility when he sees something that doesn't look right to turn it over to the correct person. That's exactly.
So why wasn't this brought up
He
for the
turned
last
it-
3 years then?
And I believe that that list was provided by you about a year ago.
No, it was provided for my trial for 2012, almost 2 years ago.
Claim preclusion is known as the one bite at the apple rule. The idea here is that the plaintiff must vindicate all their rights to relief that we're going to deem encompassed in a single claim in one lawsuit. So for purposes of our visualization here, the apple is your claim. Everything is going to hinge on how we have defined the claim. In other words, how we define the shape and contour of the apple. What does it include? Once you take a bite at that apple, you cannot take another one. You've got to bring everything that would be part of that claim in the lawsuit. So you can see right away, if we define the apple, if we define the claim as being really broad, then you have more potential for preclusion in the future. If it's more narrowly defined, then you have less potential for preclusion in the future, because it's unlikely that the claim will be defined in such a way as to encompass what you're trying to do in the second suit. This is also sometimes referred to as the rule against claim splitting. In other words, you've got your apple, you can't have it and put it in separate suits. You have to bring it all. Everything that we're going to define is part of that claim, and that's a critical piece. What is part of the same claim? If it's part of that claim and you've taken a bite at that claim, then any other lawsuit that you try and litigate that same claim is going to be completely precluded. All right. So we got lawsuit 1. There were some claims in it. You get a judgment in it. You try and bring a second lawsuit that has some other aspect of that claim, maybe a different part of the injury. That lawsuit is now going to be completely precluded. You had to have brought everything about that claim in the first lawsuit.